Welcome to Hangar 51 Files, where history's secrets, classified operations, and hidden truths come to light. From Cold War black ops to the future of warfare, from lost artifacts to emerging defense technologies, we investigate the stories buried beneath official narratives. No speculation, no clickbait, just hard-hitting research, expert analysis, and the pursuit of truth. You're now inside the briefing room. Stay sharp, stay curious. This is Hangar 51 Files.
All right, so today we're diving deep into one of history's most unsettling organizations.
Oh, yeah.
The Ahnenerbe.
Definitely unsettling.
You've probably heard whispers of this Nazi SS research group, shrouded in mystery, fueled by a twisted ideology.
Yeah, you're a fascinating group.
And we've got research files, historical accounts, expert analysis, a whole treasure trove
Wow.
to sift through, and trust me, what we're about to uncover,
I'm sure.
it's as fascinating as it is
It's
disturbing.
going to be good. Yeah.
We'll track their expeditions across the globe, from the icy peaks of Tibet to the sun-soaked ruins of Greece.
Makes you want to travel.
And we'll delve into their obsessive quest to rewrite history,
Mm-hmm.
erase entire cultures,
Oh, wow.
and amass a vast collection of stolen artifacts.
Oh, they had a lot of those.
But this isn't just about the past.
Right.
We'll also explore what happened to those artifacts after the war and the implications for us today.
Oh, that's a great point.
So,
Yeah.
the Ahnenerbe's legacy is a complex one,
It really is.
raising questions about cultural ownership, ethical dilemmas faced by museums, and the ongoing efforts to locate and repatriate looted treasures.
Really gets you thinking.
Let's rewind the clock to 1935,
Okay.
the heart of Nazi Germany.
All right.
On the surface, a seemingly harmless research institute emerges,
Underneath?
but beneath the facade
Yes.
lies a chilling purpose.
Chilling indeed.
The Ahnenerbe was the brainchild of Heinrich Himmler,
Oh, yeah. He was a real piece of work.
head of the SS.
Mhm.
And from its inception,
Yep.
it was deeply intertwined with the Nazi regime's quest for power and racial dominance.
They wanted it all.
Himmler envisioned the Ahnenerbe as a tool to legitimize Nazi ideology,
Right.
providing quote-unquote scientific validation for their claims of Aryan supremacy.
They loved that.
And they weren't operating on a shoestring budget either.
Oh, no.
This organization boasted over 50 research departments,
Oh, 50.
dedicated to everything from archaeology and anthropology to studies of the occult.
All over the place.
They received a staggering 1 million Reichsmarks annually,
1,000,000.
which is equivalent to millions in today's currency.
Yeah, they had a lot of money.
That kind of financial backing speaks volumes, doesn't it?
It really does.
Absolutely.
They get to do whatever they wanted.
That level of funding allowed the Ahnenerbe to carry out elaborate research projects,
Mm-hmm.
assemble a vast network of scholars and researchers,
Let's see where.
and launch ambitious expeditions
Although
to far-flung corners of the globe.
the world was their oyster.
It demonstrates just how deeply the Ahnenerbe was embedded in the Nazi power structure.
Oh, for sure.
They weren't a fringe group.
No.
They
Yeah.
were a key instrument in the regime's propaganda machine.
Very important.
Let's talk about those expeditions.
Yeah.
Um,
Where are we going?
A group of Nazi researchers, armed with scientific instruments, fueled by a twisted ideology,
Audivate.
venturing into the Himalayas in search of mythical creatures and lost civilizations,
Wow.
all in an attempt to fabricate an Aryan origin story.
Always with the origins.
That was the driving force behind the Ahnenerbe's infamous Tibet expedition in 1938.
Yeah, 1938.
They were searching for tangible evidence to support their racial theories,
They wanted proof.
ancient artifacts,
Mm-hmm.
hidden texts,
Oh, the texts.
perhaps even living proof of a superior Aryan lineage.
They wanted to find them.
They meticulously documented their findings,
Very careful.
collecting thousands of photographs,
Thousands.
taking countless measurements of Tibetan skulls,
Oh, gee.
and mapping remote monasteries,
all of it.
all in a desperate attempt to fit the pieces of their fabricated history together.
Desperate.
Speaking of meticulous documentation,
Oh, yeah.
it's almost chilling how organized they were in cataloging, transporting, and storing the items they looted.
It's a little scary.
It wasn't just random plunder.
Very specific.
It was a calculated operation,
For sure.
designed to strip entire cultures of their heritage.
That's terrible.
The Ahnenerbe's meticulous record-keeping, while disturbing in its purpose,
Yes.
has actually proven to be incredibly valuable
How so?
to modern researchers.
Really?
It offers a detailed roadmap,
Okay.
helping to track down missing artifacts
Uh-huh.
and piece together the extent of their looting operations.
Right.
So we've got these Nazi researchers stealing artifacts from Tibet
Stealing.
to try and prop up their fabricated claims of Aryan supremacy.
They love to do that.
But it gets even darker, doesn't it?
Oh, no.
Their actions went beyond theft.
Uh-oh.
They were actively attempting
Imperiously.
to erase entire culture.
That's awful.
Yes, the Ahnenerbe's activities represent a truly disturbing intersection of ideology and cultural destruction.
Oh, I see.
They sought to control the historical narrative
Of course.
by systematically destroying archives,
Uh-huh.
religious texts,
The worst.
and anything that contradicted their warped world there.
It's like they want to start over.
It was a calculated campaign of cultural eradication
A campaign.
aimed at
Silencing dissenting voices.
no one could speak and solidifying their grip on power.
Totally.
It's heartbreaking to imagine the impact this must have had on the people whose history was being systematically erased.
I can't even imagine.
Let's take the destruction of religious texts as an example.
Okay.
Those texts represent centuries of tradition, belief, and cultural identity.
So important.
Their loss would have been devastating.
It's just awful.
Absolutely.
The
The
destruction.
destruction of cultural heritage
Mm-hmm.
is a profound loss.
Absolutely.
Not only of tangible objects,
Right.
but also of the stories, knowledge, and traditions they embody.
It's just wrong.
It's an act of violence against cultural identity,
Oh, and
severing communities from their past,
They lose their roots.
and undermining their sense of belonging.
That's so sad.
The honor-based actions were not simply about acquiring objects.
More than that.
They were about dismantling entire cultures and rewriting history to fit their own twisted narrative.
It's crazy.
And as the tide of war began to turn against them,
Oh.
the Ahnenerbe knew they had to conceal their ill-gotten treasures.
Hide it all.
They embarked on a frantic effort to hide their stolen loot,
Hide, hide, hide.
creating a real-life mystery
Ooh, a mystery.
that continues to unfold to this day.
I love a mystery.
Where did those treasures go?
Where indeed?
What lengths did they go to
I don't know.
in order to protect their secrets?
Good question.
The Ahnenerbe went to extraordinary lengths to
Wow.
conceal their loot.
They really did.
We're talking hidden vaults,
It's in the movie.
secret compartments, and salt mines.
Salt mines.
Even private collections.
Wow.
Used as fronts.
Sneaky.
They were desperate to preserve their ill-gotten gains,
Desperate.
hoping to use them to rebuild their twisted vision of the world,
Oh, geez.
even in defeat.
Wow, they didn't give up. Yeah, it just keeps going, doesn't it? With each new discovery, we get a deeper understanding of the Ahnenerbe's reach and the impact of their actions.
It's like we keep peeling back the layers of some dark and intricate onion.
Mm.
And speaking of discoveries, I'm thinking about those notebooks, the ones that belonged to Ernst Schaefer from that Tibet expedition.
Oh, yeah?
The fact that they were found tucked away in a former Soviet facility near Kaliningrad, it just adds another layer of intrigue to this whole saga.
It does. And those notebooks weren't just random musings, you know?
No.
They were meticulously detailed records of the expedition's findings, observations, and, most importantly, their attempts to manipulate their research.
To make it fit.
To fit the Nazi ideology, they provide a chilling glimpse into the minds of the researchers and how far they went, to twist science to serve their agenda.
And let's not forget the role of technology in these investigations. It wasn't that long ago that researchers used ground-penetrating radar at Hall, one of Himmler's former headquarters,
Oh, right.
and uncovered hidden vaults filled with looted artifacts.
The use of ground-penetrating radar has really been a game changer.
It has.
It's like having a window into the past, revealing the hidden remnants of the Ahnenerbe's activities.
It makes you wonder what else is still out there, what other secrets are hidden beneath our feet, buried in forgotten archives, or tucked away in private collections.
It's a global undertaking, this search for the Ahnenerbe's stolen treasures, involving researchers, historians, archaeologists, and governments from around the world. It's a real testament to the importance of cultural heritage,
It is.
and the determination to reclaim what was stolen.
And it's not just about physical objects, is it? The digital world is playing a bigger and bigger role in preserving the memory of the Ahnenerbe's crimes and making sure that those stories aren't forgotten.
Absolutely. Digital preservation efforts are crucial. I mean, think about it. We have access to so many documents, photographs, and even audio recordings from that era, but they're fragile.
Yeah.
Digitizing them ensures that they're accessible to researchers, educators, and the public for generations to come. It's about safeguarding history, preventing its erasure, and ensuring that we learn from the past.
We've talked a lot about the Ahnenerbe's impact on the past, but I keep coming back to this question. What are the implications for the present?
Right.
What can we learn from this organization and the damage they inflicted?
It's a chilling reminder that knowledge can be weaponized, that seemingly innocuous research can be twisted to serve dangerous agendas.
Yeah.
It underscores the importance of ethical research, of ensuring that our pursuit of understanding doesn't come at the cost of human dignity and cultural heritage.
Their actions showed a complete disregard for the very concept of cultural heritage. It raises a crucial question. How do we ensure that scientific progress is used for good
Right.
and not for perpetuating harm and injustice?
That's a question that every researcher, scientist, every institution has to wrestle with. It's about fostering a culture of responsibility, transparency, and accountability. Recognizing that the pursuit of knowledge isn't neutral.
Right.
It has consequences, and we have to be mindful of those consequences.
And what about the legal side of things? We mentioned those legal battles surrounding the ownership of these looted artifacts. It's a complicated web of international laws, competing claims, and ethical considerations.
It's a complex landscape. There are international conventions aimed at protecting cultural heritage, but enforcing those laws and navigating the complexities of ownership claims can be a long and arduous process.
I imagine it involves diplomacy, negotiation, and a deep understanding of both legal frameworks and the historical context of these objects. How do they even determine ownership? Who gets to decide?
Those are exactly the questions that international bodies, governments, and cultural institutions are wrestling with. There's a growing recognition of the need to repatriate looted artifacts, return them to their countries of origin, but the process is often really challenging.
I imagine those challenges include things like verifying the object's origins, navigating legal systems, and dealing with political sensitivities.
Absolutely, it's a delicate process, often requiring years of negotiation and collaboration. But it also reflects a larger shift in how we understand cultural heritage. There's a growing awareness that these objects aren't just commodities.
Right.
They're expressions of cultural identity, and they belong with the communities from which they were taken.
And it's not just about legal ownership, is it? There's also the emotional impact, the sense of loss and violation felt by those whose heritage has been stolen.
Exactly. The looting of cultural heritage isn't just a crime against property. It's a crime against people. It severs communities from their past, undermines their identity, and deprives them of their cultural birthright.
It's inspiring to see organizations like the Monuments Men, who dedicated themselves to protecting cultural heritage during wartime, risking their lives to rescue stolen art and artifacts.
Yeah, they remind us that even in the middle of war and destruction, some people recognize the value of cultural heritage and fight to protect it. Their legacy continues to inspire efforts to safeguard cultural treasures worldwide.
It's a shame that it often takes a global conflict for the world to recognize the value of cultural heritage and the need to protect it. But hopefully, the lessons we learn from the Ahnenerbe will help us be more proactive in safeguarding these treasures for the future.
It's a responsibility we all share, not just governments and institutions, but every individual who values history, culture, and the interconnectedness of humanity. We need to be mindful of the origins of the objects we encounter, the stories they tell, and the people they represent.
As we continue to explore the specifics of the Ahnerbe's operations, their research, and the individuals who drove their agenda, it's important to keep these larger questions in mind. They're not just abstract concepts. They have real-world implications for how we understand and interact with cultural heritage.
It's a story that's still being written. As more information comes to light and researchers piece together the Ahnerbe's activities, we gain a deeper understanding of the complexities of cultural heritage, the impact of its theft, and the struggle to reclaim what was lost.
It's a reminder that the past isn't truly past, and the choices we make today have ripple effects for generations to come. But before we move on, let's take a moment and consider what resonates with you, listener. What questions are you thinking about? It's amazing to think that all these years later, decades after the fall of the Third Reich, we're still uncovering new information about the Ahnenerbe.
Yeah, their reach was so vast.
It's like their story just keeps going and going, getting more complex every year. And as we dig deeper into what they actually did, I can't help but think about the sheer scale of their looting operation.
Oh, it was massive.
We've talked about Tibet, but their activities went way beyond that one expedition.
They were busy.
What other operations really stand out?
Well, their plundering of the Greek islands, especially Crete, between 1941 and 1944.
Okay.
Archaeologist Dr. Hans Reinhardt led the operation. They targeted Minoan sites, those ancient ruins from a civilization thousands of years old. And get this, they stole over 11,000 artifacts from Greek museums.
11,000 artifacts. That's unbelievable.
It shows just how organized they were, and frankly, how brazen they were in their theft.
They had a whole system.
And remember those meticulous records we talked about?
Yeah, they were like obsessive record keepers.
Well, those records played a crucial role in the Greek operation. The Ahnenerbe set up secret cataloging centers.
They were really trying to cover their tracks.
They even created fake preservation certificates to legitimize their thefts. It's a chilling example of how they twisted bureaucracy and deception to hide their crimes.
It's like they were trying to not only steal objects, but also control the narrative of history.
Exactly. They wanted to erase certain stories and replace them with their own fabricated versions. It reminds us that cultural heritage isn't just about the objects themselves. It's about the stories, the knowledge, and our connection to the past.
It's about who we are.
Exactly. And we can see this clearly in their obsessive search for the Holy Grail.
Oh, right.
Otto Rahn led this operation between 1940 and 1943. He was focused on southern France, exploring sites like Montségur and Rennes-le-Château, those places steeped in Grail legends. He was trying to link those legends to dramatic mythology.
It seems like they were trying to fit everything into their ideology.
They were convinced that the Grail, this powerful symbol of purity, had ancient Aryan roots. It was all part of their effort to prove their idea of racial superiority.
They just kept finding ways to weave those beliefs into everything they did.
Their quest for so-called Aryan origins took them all over. Viking burial sites in Norway, the Balkans, even Scythian burial mounds in Ukraine. They were trying to create these connections that supported their agenda.
So they were picking and choosing pieces of history to fit their own narrative, like forcing puzzle pieces together that don't belong.
That's a great way to put it. And remember, their plundering went beyond just objects. They raided museums and libraries, stealing books, manuscripts, anything that could help them rewrite history.
So we're left with this huge and troubling legacy of stolen artifacts, destroyed sites, and manipulated histories. What happens now? What's being done to address all the damage the Ahnenerbe caused?
Well, the effort to reclaim this stolen heritage is a global one. Researchers, historians, archaeologists, governments, everyone's involved.
It's a big job.
It's not just about finding the objects. It's about putting the pieces back together, restoring what was lost, and trying to find justice.
It must be like searching for a needle in a haystack. All these objects scattered around the world, hidden away. What are the biggest challenges?
So many records were destroyed during the war, making it really hard to trace the origins of objects. Some governments are reluctant to share information about their collections, and legal battles over ownership can take years to resolve.
It sounds incredibly complicated.
It is. But there have been some significant victories. For example, the recent repatriation of those ancient Roman coins that the Ahnenerbe looted, they ended up in a private collection in the U.S.
Wow.
That case shows how important international cooperation is and the growing movement to return these stolen pieces of culture to their rightful homes. It's inspiring to see people dedicated to undoing the damage the Ahnenerbe inflicted.
As we wrap up our deep dive into the Ahnenerbe, I'm just struck by how their story shows the dark side of human nature.
It's a powerful reminder.
Their ambition, the power of their ideology, and the damage they caused by manipulating knowledge.
But it's not all darkness. The efforts to recover these treasures, to piece together history, and to learn from the past, that shows the resilience of humanity. It shows the strength of our belief in preserving our shared cultural legacy.
There's hope there. So as we finish up, we want to leave you with a challenge. Don't let the story of the Ahnenerbe fade away.
Keep learning about them.
Dig deeper into the stories of the people they impacted and consider how their actions still affect us today.
And remember, the fight to protect our cultural heritage is ongoing. We have to be vigilant and active to prevent history from repeating itself. Learn from the mistakes of the past, hold ourselves accountable, and work together to preserve the richness of our shared human experience. That's how we can ensure that the darkness of the Ahnenerbe never happens again.
That's it for this episode of Hangar 51 Files, where we uncover the hidden, investigate the unexplained, and challenge the official story. If you found this episode insightful, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with those who refuse to accept surface-level narratives. For more deep dives, exclusive research, and behind-the-scenes content, visit www.hangar51files.com, our YouTube channel, at Hangar51Files, or our Substack, hangar51files.substack.com. Until next time, stay sharp, stay curious, and keep questioning everything. This is Hangar 51 Files, signing off. No speculation, no clickbait, just hard-hitting research, expert analysis, and the pursuit of truth.